Welcome to my greenhouse diaries for October. I cannot believe it's already October and it's kind of the end of the growing season here in the UK. It makes me feel very sad. I've absolutely loved growing lots of newbies this year. I've had lots of seedling success, as I've been showing you over the last couple of months. So today is kind of update time, showing you what I've been growing, showing you what I've been doing. It's been very busy. I've kind of been prepping for winter, although that's very depressing to say. So just lots of cleaning, lots of removing dead leaves, just doing health checks on my succulents. Some of them are repotted. Also, my arrangements can't stay outside for all of the winter, unfortunately, so a lot of them have come in already. What I wanted to do is get them nice and dry and then put them in the greenhouse, but I left some of them out and I was checking the forecast daily. The typical British weather was always wrong, so I've got a lot of wet succulent arrangements outside at the minute, which I really need them to dry off before I can put them into the greenhouse. So I'm just keeping them outside to kind of get some airflow, but I'm going to be talking to you about all of this different stuff I've been up to and lots more in today's video, so stay tuned. So here is the collection, still quite messy with all the labels. That's still kind of no further progress, or not a lot of progress in the whole label department. I do want to change them all, but all the green ones are what I've repotted. I'm a little bit erratic with it. I then have started tackling some over here. So yeah, there's no method to my madness. Well, there is a little bit. I wanted to check my newer ones and anything that were quite chunky just to make sure they're sitting in the right mix, because yeah, winter is coming and they need to be in quite a good gritty mix and not have any damp compost. So I just wanted to do some spot checks on my recent ones, which have had some water as well. So this is the collection. Like I say, I have been moving arrangements in, so I'm just kind of trying to make some room. So down here I've still got kind of the same stuff going on. This is like my hospital department, anything that's a little bit poorly or just needs a little bit of TLC. I've got over here, I've still got my leaf props at the back. They're obviously starting to slow down a little bit now. And I've got my collection here with some kind of ones which don't mind us quite a lot of shade at the back there. And then down here, I've got my arrangements so far that I've brought in. So these are nice and dry now. They're doing really well. I did have a few mealies because I don't treat my outside arrangements, because the bug clay treatment that I do use affects pollinators, obviously bees and things, and I do not want to, affect them in any way. So I do not treat any outside arrangements with my bug clay treatment. So that just means that I am prone to mealy. So when I bring arrangements in, I just need to be very careful. So I have actually deconstructed some of my arrangements. Actually, some of these, and probably this one, I think if you see my other stories and reels and things, that's when I kind of put two arrangements together into one. So I just did a really good check of the roots and the plant health really, and just put them back together. Same with a couple of these as well. So just checking to see if there's any mealies. There have been the odd few which I've been treating, like spot treatment with the alcohol spray, and that seems to be working quite well, but I just need to keep on top of it. It seems that when the growth slows down on the succulents and the temperatures drop, mealies kind of come out to play. So yeah, it's a little bit annoying, but yeah, I've got some absolutely beautiful ones at the back there. They're doing really well, and they are nice and dry, so I'm really happy with them. Unfortunately, I trusted the UK forecast, which you should never ever do. So these have been outside. They were nice and dry. They've been outside for about 9 days after the last lot of rain. And then I think it was Sunday, Monday, Tuesday this week, it was forecast as dry. So I was like, right, I'll get them in after Tuesday. But we just had rain all day, every day. So yeah, they are absolutely soaked again. So I just need to keep them outside to get some airflow. Now it is dry today. Not that I trust it's going to stay dry, because it's so grey at the minute. It's definitely very autumnal here at the moment. But also these ones are not the elegans, which is, look at the beautiful colours of that. So because it's dropping temperatures quite a lot at night now, it's going under 10 degrees. It's around about 8, I would say. That really brings the colours out. So I always leave these ones out in particular until probably November time. They're very hardy. They don't mind being quite wet. They've got a very gritty mix in here, and there's a lot of them. So if there's any rain in there, they seem to share it quite well and I haven't had one rot. I know I've just said that and I'm probably going to jinx myself, but yeah, they just seem to be quite hardy, and they don't actually mind a little bit of frost. Not that we're having any currently. That could be probably any time now I've said that. But yeah, so these elegans, the colour on these are just absolutely stunning. So they're very kind of red, pinky, and then they've got the green centre. So over winter that will all change into this pink colour if I leave it out a little bit longer, and we have a few nights of colder weather. But they're already starting to show their beautiful stressed colours, and I love them. So all these other ones I'm going to be working on probably over the next week or so, just to get them kind of into a pot all together, because you know there's lots of space in here and here, and they're not, you know, I don't need to put these into the greenhouse as they are because it's just a waste. So I'm going to try and pot them into probably a bigger pot which is dry, yeah, which will obviously be good for them, and save me some room in the greenhouse as well. And then I've just got some out here which I'm just trying to save because they got that one got really burnt on the left there. That was a sunset peony, and the one here got, I think it was burnt, but it also just, I don't know what happened to it. It looks very strange, but I have got some new growth in the centre there, so I'm hoping that's a good sign. And then these ones are really thirsty, so I'm all right with them being outside for now. But yeah, that's the arrangements. Everything else has gone in. Oh, apart from this little lone one, this is my 3 frillies that I had chopped at the start of the year, and they've rerouted like beautifully, and they're just gorgeous. So I thought I'd leave them out here because they always seem quite thirsty. Like, we've had a lot of rain, and yeah, they're doing all right. So they are just enjoying a little bit of the autumnal weather. So removing dead leaves is a really important task to do before winter, because dead leaves can attract kind of dampness and bugs. So I've spent a lot of my time recently just doing that, just taking off the dead leaves and giving them a little bit of water if any of these ones looked really thirsty. Mainly at the start of October, because we were still having a lot of sunnier days and it was still over 20 in the greenhouse. I made sure they got some water because they deserved it. They just need that little bit of extra to plump them up and get them through the winter, really. So yeah, removing dead leaves has been a really big task recently, and it takes ages because there are so many, but there's still quite a lot to go. There's still a few little odd ones here and there, but overall I'm doing a good job. And next, leaf props. I'm still having some kind of success with leaf props at the moment. They're still growing quite nicely. I pot them on into these trays once they have started to pup and to root. I'm watering them a hell of a lot less, probably like once a week, and these still seem quite damp from, I think it was 4 or 5 days ago now. So yeah, I'm just being really careful. It's a bit of a balancing act at this time of year. So yeah, they are doing nicely, and I'm still propagating my arrangements. So before I took them in, I just took some leaves off really, and just, obviously they were nice and plump. I took advantage of that, and yeah, removed some leaves. So hopefully I'll have some propagate, but they just don't do as well when the temperatures are cooler. I've literally just put my head in a cobweb. The amount of spiders I have at the minute in this greenhouse is a little bit, but they are really good for bugs. So I always keep my spiders in here, try not to headbutt the cobwebs, which is really difficult at times, but they're really good at kind of eating unwanted bugs and things in the greenhouse. So I am very open to spiders being in here, as long as they don't have the cobwebs where I can walk into them, because that freaks me out. But they are good for bugs, so keep your spiders. But yeah, I just wanted to give you some updates really on things from past videos. So my black prints, I still have good news. I'm really happy about this. I'm really excited, and do you know what? I deserve this. I say this in every video about this, but I've had some really crappy luck this year with some of my imports and what's happened to them. So my black prince, I'm pleased to say, is continuing to grow. So this is now the stem. Obviously, it's got some really decent size pups on there now, and quite a few of them. So I'm just a little bit cautious this time of year. Like, what do you do with them? Do you keep watering them? What happens? So I did give this water the other day because it was quite thirsty, but the stem is, oh sorry, the leaves are really nice and plump now, but they continue to grow nicely. I expect the growth to slow down quite a lot, but I am happy that it's doing all right. And this is the head. So it actually started to produce roots from one side of it, so I have potted it onto like a really gritty mix. So it's doing well. It just makes me wonder, like, what would have happened if I didn't chop it. I just think it would have died off. I don't know why, but something about that middle part of the stem that I removed, I think was causing the issues with it. So I'm really glad I chopped it, because I've got the head and now I've got some pups living on. So that's the update on my variegated black prince. So this is my variegated raindrop, which I've shown in a few videos now. And oh, I found a mealy. Why do they always get attracted to my beautiful variegated ones and ones which are looking a little bit distressed? So this one was completely rotted. As you can see, the stem here was cut and it's all kind of folded in on itself and rotted away. However, This here is some newer growth. It looks like it's continued to grow from that middle part there. And also, very randomly, I've just noticed, we've got one little root growing. So I don't really know what to do with it. Has anyone else had anything like this? It's very unusual. I think this part of the stem is completely dead, so I'm tempted to chop it off, but at the same time, it's trying to do something. I just don't want to disturb it when it's, you know, trying to survive. So it's a really strange one. So if anyone's got any advice, please share with me. I welcome any opinions and advice you've got. But I am just going to spot treat that mealy. Yeah, he's not welcome. So my new tool in the greenhouse are cotton buds. So these are really good at spraying on some alcohol spray. And if you can just see one mealy, I would recommend just using these instead of spraying the whole thing. So where is that pesky little mealy? He is just in there. So see, that kills him on contact, because I think the treatment, what's the word? Kind of destroys their coating, I suppose. Yeah, and it soaks into them and kills them. So if you just see the odd one, I would now recommend using this. I always said to spray them before, but I've had a little bit of a epiphany, is that the word? Yeah, a little bit of a brainwave that I think what I'm doing sometimes, or is happening, is when my head chops are starting to root and I see a mealy, when I spray them with the alcohol spray, the alcohol probably is a little bit strong for the fresh roots, and it has dried some of them off and killed some of them back a little bit. So I'm now just going to spot treat the mealies when I see them, especially on something as delicate as this. It seems to be working really well, and I wonder if that's why some of my plants have not rooted as quickly, or had some issues with the roots drying out or dying off once they've rooted, because the spray is a little bit harsh for them. I also didn't really know if I should include this, but this is the elegance. So yeah, it's dying off in my opinion. It's not doing very well. It's not going to last. But I have got the tiniest bit of hope, because one of the leaves from this produced a pup, and I've potted it on, and it's with my other leaf props now. So hopefully in a future video I can say, you know, something has survived. It doesn't need to be variegated. Even if it's just a standard form elegans, I'm all right with that. It just means that my beautiful plant has kind of lived on and produced something. So we'll see. But, you know, there's some leaves left. We'll see what happens. But yeah, in my opinion, that's a goner. So in other news, I have treated myself because I felt a little bit sad. It's the end of the season. My succulents will be going to sleep soon. So I've ordered some new succulents. I've ordered them from Changi, which is a nursery in South Korea. And they do some beautiful hybrids. So me and my succulent friend have ordered kind of a joint order between us, and they'll be here I think by the end of the week. So I'll probably do a video on me unboxing them and just showing you the beautiful hybrids that I've got to add to my collection. Yes, I'll probably do that in a separate video. So if you want to see that, please subscribe and you'll be updated when the video is live. But they look beautiful. I cannot wait to receive them. Also, something very, very interesting is happening to my beautiful Lola here. So she looks to me like she's turning variegated. What do you think? What's your opinion on this one? So this is the little pup there. She's been growing for years and years and years. I've had this one. This is one of my first ones I actually got for my collection, and it kind of made me fall in love with succulents even more, because look at it, beautiful. But yeah, she looks a little bit variegated. That kind of yellow growth with the green in the middle looks variegated to me. So I just wonder, is it happening? Is something random and amazing happening to my succulent? This is my variegated Lola, which I actually bought as variegated, and it looks really similar. So we will see. I did actually head chop this year. I've done a video on it actually, which will go live in probably a couple of weeks' time. And I had 3 pups grow on the stem. This is like a spoiler alert for my video. I had 3 pups grow, variegated ones, and I was so excited because I was so nervous to chop this. Obviously, chopping a variegated plant is scary, very, very scary. And obviously when it looks so beautiful, I hate chopping it. It freaks me out. Anyway, I did it, and I had 3 pups, and I was like, this is amazing. They were growing really well. And I accidentally left it on the edge of a shelf one day, and we had some really intense, crazy sun, and they fried. So yeah, I lost them. Obviously the head lives on, which is great, but is this now like my karma? Because I lost the other ones. Is she now thinking, well, I feel sorry for you, you tried so hard, you were so brave? Is this now yeah, like karma, and this beauty is turning variegated? We'll see. I think it's quite rare it happens. I've done some research on it, and it does happen. It could be due to stressing and different mutations within the plant, like deep within the plant, and things can trigger it off, but we'll see. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'll update you next month. So that's everything for October. So as you can see, I've been quite busy. There's been quite a lot to do. I've not been overly excited, honestly, about coming out to the greenhouse. It's been really, really cold and really miserable. We've had lots of rain. So it's been a little bit of a hard one because I love spending time with them, but I really don't like it when it's cold. I'm just one of the people that turns into a bit of a hermit over winter. So yeah, I've struggled a little bit, to be honest, but I have got lots done, and obviously on the sunnier days I just love being out. Anyway, so that is everything. I hope you've enjoyed seeing the updates and the different things that we've been up to here. I obviously I think I mentioned in past videos, I'm trying to put everything into one greenhouse. I still haven't accomplished that. It's something I'll need to be working on over the next week or so, really, to the next 2 weeks. I've emptied out loads of space in my garage because I wanted to put some seedlings and leaf props and things under grow lights in the garage, because it's going to be warmer in there, and I want them to not continue growing, but just to make sure they are kind of ticking over and not dying off, basically. So that's still a little bit of that's a huge task of mine. I just miscalculated really how much I've got, so I need to do some work on that, because yeah, I've got loads and I don't have enough room for them all. So yeah, I will update you hopefully in the next video with what I've decided to do on that, because I can't get them all in here and I can't get them all in the garage, so I need to come up with some crazy idea. But we'll see. I just really am determined to get everything into one greenhouse to keep the cost down, because obviously electricity and everything costs quite a lot. Yeah, so I will update you on that next time. If you've got any questions from today's video, if there's anything you particularly enjoyed, please let me know. I love hearing from you. I hope you find these useful. I hope this is kind of it's kind of like a mini vlog, isn't it, of like what I've been doing, what I've been up to. So I hope it's helpful for you, for your collection, and maybe that it gives you little reminders of something you can do to help your collection and keep them thriving. But thank you for watching today, and I'll see you next time.